Okay, sorry, trying to catch up on some comments and stuff. Oh, we're not full yet. Cool. All right, hello there, stream. Gonna be doing some keys tonight. Have not really had a chance to do any this week, so I am excited to see how things are gonna go after all the changes and stuff. Doing more castery stuff, so should be good. Yeah, starting off with I think this is a 15 seat, which will be a big injection of IO for me because I have it on 10, so I've not done very many seats.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
We will defend Azeroth to the death.
Something foul is stalking these grounds, heroes. Hunt it down and destroy it.
Uh-oh, where did those pushing go?
Rebuff Mark of the Wild.
Hey, Gloria. All right, stream. Going to be running a plus 15 seat. This is my talent setup. Run with the new talents. First key of the week with the new talents and stuff, so we'll see if I can
4, 3,
do okay.
2, 1.
Gear. Oh, need to set up. Regan, do you think the Resto Druid Boomkin thing gets nerfed?
4,
No, probably not.
3, 2.
Alright, I
1.
will be doing commentary for this key. Starting off, gonna go ahead and Iron Bark the tank, stacking max hots. And this one I'm just gonna spinning plates. We're gonna go ahead and innervate. I'm gonna shapeshift this. Shapeshift it again. We'll go ahead and convoke. Using a Soul of the Forest regrowth. And we're good. So now we'll start doing Starfire. So with the changes, we are Starfire bots. It's only worth doing dots in single target, and that is with Moonfire. And then, I'm going to have to break that habit of going into cat. If you have to move, that's the only time that... if you have to move, that's the only time that Sunfire is a DPS advantage over Starfire. So Starfire is just your default bread and butter for anything over 2 targets. Except for Heart of the Wild. Heart of the Wild is still a cat move, believe it or not, up to 5 targets. So essentially, Starfire spam. If you need to move, cast Sunfire. Use Heart of the Wild in cat always. And then Convoke is not a DPS increase to use it for DPS over just casting. So just use it for healing. You don't ever have to really... you don't ever really have to use it for that. So in a lot of ways, it's super simple if you just break it down to Starfire, Starfire, Starfire. The only thing that's complicated is the unintuitiveness of not doing dots, if that's something that you're used to. And then the Heart of the Wild stuff. Let's get out of the middle here. And you know what? I don't actually know. I don't know how Star Surge plays into it. I assume that it's really only worth it in single target, but I could be wrong. I have not done like hardly any seats this season. Just making sure the ads don't get to him. Go ahead and knock it right before it dies to drop the puddle over there. Oh, it doesn't drop a puddle. Yep, see? I told you. I haven't done hardly any seats. Don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, and I'm going to wait until after the leap, and then I'm going to go ahead and Heart of the Wild into a bite, because we do not have talents for rip, so that's what you do. You just Heart of the Wild into a bite. I'm just going to root that one. I think I can just get sucked in here. It doesn't do anything. Make sure I don't get knocked into any packs. Kind of a boring boss. It's really just add control. DPS swapping. Like even on a 15, this is not that hard to... That slam is not too bad. Like a little bit of hots on everybody, and it's not even a full health pool or whatever. So I guess it would still potentially be worth, in single target, convoking in cat, because it's not a... From what I have heard, it is not a DPS increase for Moonkin casting, so... Oh, also, a small thing I forgot to mention, and not so small. You never go into Moonkin form. You spect it purely to get to Sunfire, and for pathing and stuff, but you never actually go into Moonfire, because then you lose the haste from Lycara's teachings. So, you don't even have to weave. The whole Alkin thing is just a formality. Okay, here I'm going to go ahead and Heart of the Wild bite. I'm going to convoke to get some hots and stuff out. Get some more hots, and we'll just go back to Starfiring. Also, we run, I believe, Master Shapeshifter now. I'll have to look at that, but... So, yeah, you have just infinite mana. If I hear anyone ever complain again about mana and keys, I don't know what to tell you. This, no, that's just a damage increase. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just trank this damage, move out of I'll move Life Bloom to the mage there, and then consume Soul of the Forest for the Apex proc, the Everbloom or whatever. Blooming Frenzy. Also, the talents in the in section are pretty competitive, so we do not run Dream of Cenarius and whatever. The damage to healing talents. Sorry, my brain is distracted right now with waking up. This is my first key of the week. So I'm going to be warming up on my commentary as well here. But yeah, we don't run the damage conversion talents. They're just not worth it. There's too many other good talents that you can bring. How does Master Shapeshifter help with mana? Just read it. Any Starfire, any Wrath gives you mana. Or, yeah, Starfire and Wrath. It increases our DPS a little bit with caster spells, which is why we don't typically run it with Cat unless we're worried about the mana, I think. I'm going to have to look at that actually, though. But in general, we still run... Ooh, Mass Invis. We still run Cat and Raid a lot of times. People do both, but it's nice for Cat in Raid because you just run Heart of the Wild. And just every 2 minutes you just rip a quick Heart of the Wild into either a rip or a bite, and you get the 5 combo point spend. Mana regen. Only takes like 2 globals. It's really easy. So here I'm just kind of spinning plates, just keeping pots up on everybody. I used Convoke to get a head start there. Always sending my, well, not always, but most of the time sending my Soul of the Forests into Rejuice for all the different various benefits that has through Abundance and a longer Hot for Mastery stacks and stuff like that. It's an instant cast, so it's a faster proc of our Blooming Frenzy, etc. And then only really spending my Soul of the Forest and Regrowths when I need a big spot heal or a recovery tool for the group. So here, let's throw Hots into the tank. And I'm not going to Swiftmend yet. I'm going to Ironbark. Okay, we'll go ahead and Swiftmend her now. And I have Convoke. I will use it now. And I can shapeshift out of that. Oh, I let my Life Bloom fall off. That's unfortunate. Okay, I still had my Nature Swiftness that I was sitting on there, so I'm going to go ahead and use that to recover the Rogue. We're just looking for a target that's not going to die during my Starfire cast. And let's refresh this Life Bloom, get another Rejuve on the tank, we'll Swiftmend, and we'll throw an Empowered Rejuve on her. So, can you paste your talent? It's just the Wowhead build. I can't right now, but it's literally just the Wowhead Mythic Plus build. As of Tuesday, I don't know if he's made changes since then. Okay, I've got Hots and the Mage, so now I'm just doing regrowths until he stabilizes. Let's get our Wild Growth out. I have Convoke now. We'll go ahead and just Starfire a little bit. Alright, let's refresh that Convoke. I'm going to go ahead and Bark Skin myself. Spend my Soul of the Forest to proc Blooming Frenzy. I'm happy with watching myself, so I'm just going to leave that buff on myself. Debuff on myself. I'm going to go ahead and Convoke here. I have Wild Growth out on the group from Convoke, so I'm just going to sit on mine. And now I'll use it. Oh, move out of the puddle first. Make sure we don't drop our Life Bloom. Let's refresh Rejuve stacks on the tank. And I'm going to sit on that Soul of the Forest so I can pop it when I need the cleave healing. Soul of the Forest is good to save for Everbloom rather than just dumping up for extra Rejuves if people are full HP. Well, it depends. Depends on which playstyle you're going for. If you're following my pug-proof playstyle that I was talking about in my guide, then you just spend it immediately, because the goal for that playstyle is overhotting. And yes, you do miss out on potentially lining up your Everbloom healing when you need it, but the trade-off is you don't have to sit on it, and you can keep your rejuve stacks up. So that is a more mana-intensive playstyle, but it is a safer playstyle. Now, to play more optimally, when you're more comfortable with Druid and stuff like that, and you want to cut some corners and have some time for some other stuff, like cat weaving, you can sit on it for a big party-wide heal, like right... Oh, I spent it a little early there. But yeah, you can sit on it. You're still using Swiftman pretty much on cooldown, but you're sitting on it in between, and then you have the flexibility to use it when you need to. Rather than the cleave healing potentially being wasted. That makes sense. Master Shapeshifter makes up for not taking Innervate for mana? I mean, kinda. You don't need... I mean, I didn't hardly ever use Innervate before. Anyways, even without Master Shapeshifter. I just, a lot of times, use Innervate because I felt like it was a good idea, not because I necessarily needed it. Druid was already pretty good to go for mana before. And now Innervate's just completely unnecessary. It already kind of was before, and now it's just complete overkill. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and Barkskin this damage on myself. Let's refresh this Life Bloom, and proc the Blooming Frenzy. I'm going to Iron Bark this guy. Okay, let's proc the Blooming Frenzy. I'm gonna Nature Swiftness him. Go ahead and use my Harnier Racial because I always forget. Okay, Wild Growth right before the damage, so it was probably a little early. I'm gonna Convoke now. And we'll go ahead and send Heart of the Wild. There we go.
Thank you for removing the obstacles between me and this staff, heroes. Yes, this will do nicely. You'll find their viceroy near the entrance.
Alright, and let's just start spamming Starfires. Here comes the damage. I'm gonna Wild Growth. Alright, this is going to go into me. I have Barkskin. I'm going to Nature Swiftness myself. Refresh that Life Bloom. And I'm going to sit on the Soul of the Forest. So right before this next damage, I'm going to cast Wild Growth, and then we'll consume the Soul of the Forest. Okay. I need to do it now. It's going to expire, but I can do another one now. So there, for example, I was able to do back-to-back Soul of the Forest because I sat on it. Howard, your thanks for tips. Getting back into Resto and midnight, and your vids and streams have been helping your queues a ton. Awesome, man. Well, welcome back. I hope you're having a good experience coming back in midnight. He should stabilize. He'll be okay. Yeah, he'll be alright. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Blooming Frenzy though. Okay, here, I'm gonna Convoke this because I'm a little behind here. I've got to bleed this 2 dots out, so. Okay, now we got max rejuves out on everybody. This Soul of the Forest is awesome. Power of the Archdruid is awesome, I should say. If you see me going into cat, that's just a habit that I have to break. I'm going to be doing that a lot. Okay, I'm going to Barkskin myself and Iron Bark the DK, although he AMS'd it, so.
Hello, Oh, hello.
Hi, mans.
You're going to make a
Thank you
deal.
for the follow. Okay, we'll put some more heals into the DK while he's got that bleed. Okay, I'm going to pre-hot up the 2 targets that have the dot there. Okay, now it's me. Oh gosh. What was that?
Your survival
What?
wasn't necessary.
What was that? I know what mine was. I was just low. I do not know what killed them, though. Alright, we're going to come in here guns blazing. We're going to go ahead and convoke this to recover. And then I'm going to put Life Bloom on myself, because I think the tank is fine here. I'm just going to put it on me for the extra leaf healing, raid style. Here, I've got it. I'm going to go ahead and Arc Skin myself, Iron Bark the other target. Got to get out of that. Let's re-mark of the wild. Putting out some more hots. We're just spinning plates here. Fresh Life Bloom myself. Get out Wild Growth. I'm not going to use Innervate right now because I don't think I need it. I could send Heart of the Wild here, but I'll just save it for the boss. That way I get the full bleed duration. Y-axis doesn't work. Oh, it was a Y-axis thing. Okay. Alright, let's get out our Wild Growth, and now we're convoking. Spinning plates by getting rejuves up on everybody. We'll go ahead and send our Heart of the Wild here. I have Trank if I need it, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep the plates spinning, and I'm going to just rely on that. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, we'll watch out for this. Watch out for this again. And my Life Bloom has fallen off. But I don't need it right now. There's no damage. Okay, now I'll put it on the tank. We'll dodge these orbs. Sitting on this Soul of the Forest. Just remarking out of paranoia, just making sure everybody got that mark. Okay, we'll use that Soul of the Forest before it expires. Refresh Life Bloom. Gonna go ahead and Wild Growth here, and we'll sit on this next Soul of the Forest. Oh, and sending a Soul of the Forest regrowth into that target. This guy's gonna need something as well. Okay, and then we're sitting on the Soul again. Okay, let's refresh Life Bloom. Use our Soul of the Forest before it expires. Watch these orbs. Okay, and then let's use... Refresh Life Bloom. We'll sit on the Soul of the Forest. I'm going to go ahead and use Wild Growth now. Probably didn't need to. Oh, we're right on that top of that. We'll use this Soul before it expires. And I'm just going to potion that, health pot that. Okay, and we'll see if I can finish this food. 3, 2, 1, and we got it. Yeah, let's make sure that we don't get hit by any orbs. Alright, using our soul here. I have Trank, but I'm going to save it for when we need to be on the move. Go ahead and do some single target damage. Using our nature swiftness there. Wild growth. Let's just start spinning plates. Refresh life bloom. I could send an offensive convoke, which I think you'd still probably do in cat, but I'm not going to do that right now. Because my highest seat that I've done is a 10, so I do not want to underestimate anything on bosses. Alright, let's sit on the soul of the forest. Alright, wild growth, send our soul. Refreshing life bloom. Watching our feet. Starfire these. Okay. I'm gonna nature swiftness one, darkness the other. And just spinning plates. Sending soul, wild growth. Watching my feet. Sending soul. Alright, and this is pretty much done. Ooh, that's kind of a cringe one.
I sense great despair emanating
We'll
from
repair
within.
before we go inside. For that one wipe we had.
Yes, the Naru. We must get inside. Illyria, the skills you have learned can open the way.
Such chaos. Such anger. The way is open.
The way is open.
It is rare that a Naru falls into void this way. The few cases I know of have occurred when mortals were involved. What fascinating implications.
Such musings can wait, though. This entity must die.
And I'm just going to go ahead and start spinning plates right away. Let's use our wild growth before we have to move. Go ahead and convoke this. We got rejuice up on everybody. We're good. Let's refresh that. I'm gonna reposition. Bark scan. We're gonna wild growth here and trank for this hit. I'm just gonna keep spinning plates through this whole fight. I'm gonna save my thing for the damage amp. My Heart of the Wild. Oh! Scared me. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and pot. Heart of the Wild. I feel like I missed the damage amp there. I feel like I did it early.
Incoming!
I'll go back and watch that. It might have been unfortunate. Okay, and here's the movement. We're going to go ahead and just cast Heart of the Wild while we can. Let's spend a soul. Nice, easy healing during movement because of Druid. Let's pop. Okay, so this is not me. I'm going to go ahead and convoke this. Use our soul. That was weird. It was disappearing on me. Use our wild growth before we have to keep moving. Just keeping rejubes on everybody. Alright, and let's position for the beam. Wild growth, spend our soul. I'm going to Iron Bark the rogue and spot heal the mage. Okay, here's the symphony. Now let's watch for the damage amp. Interrupted, and now there's damage amp. Okay, so it's just when she's small. So I think I'm actually good. Very nice.
Being of the light.
Big 82 IO.
Shadow.
Previous best was a
The
plus
void
10.
is a force of change, of transformation. Shadows are fluid, ever shifting.
I feel the fallen Naru's
82, right?
power. It beckons me.
You stand on the cusp of destiny, Illyria. There will be choices to make.
Okay, let's look at the breakdown. 11k overall DPS. Wasn't really trying to do too much, so not bad for just playing, just vibing. And healing breakdown. Okay, let's go do more. I think that was Resil 12, right? Now I just need an Algeth'ar, and then I'll have Resil 15s. Okay, and I could have re-rolled. No, I couldn't have re-rolled mine. This is 16. So we'll have to try to pug into one. Alright then, I'm gonna go. She's AFK real quick, so I'm gonna get cheese stick or something. I don't know. Use the bathroom while I can. All right. Let's hope we get into an Algeth'ar. That'd be sweet. Is this ours? No. Oh, yeah. Yes. All right, we're going to jump from no Resil up to Resilient 15 in 2 keys. Hopefully, this goes smoothly. Which side effect? I think this is my last. These are my last 2 keys for commentary. That don't have commentary at a 15. So that's exciting. Just in time for all my old keys to be kind of obsolete with all the cat waving stuff.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummels, like you.
I really like this key.
I have many.
This is one of my favorites in Dragonflight. Which is hard to believe it was 2 expansions ago. All right, running this plus 16 Algeth'ar as Resto with the new caster style talents. This is my talent setup. And gear. I'm going to be doing commentary for this key, so talking through things as we go. Not doing a pug-proof playstyle on this. I'm playing it more normal, especially with all the caster changes.
4,
I want to talk a little bit
3,
about
2, 1.
how that works. So, because there's a lot of confusion, and it's not too bad. So, in general,
5, 4,
anything above 2 targets, we're spamming Starfire.
1.
Sunfire is only worth pressing if you have to move. Otherwise, it's always better to be spending a global on Starfire. We only really Moonfire in single target. Heart of the Wild is still best used in cat form, up to 5 targets, believe it or not.
It has been quite some time since the academy has been open.
Well, it seems
We don't go Moonkin.
Come with us. It should
We
only
cast
take a moment
in
to
human
look
form,
up
and that's
this.
because of Lycara's teachings. If you go into Moonkin, you lose the haste buff. So it's actually better to just stay in human form.
Clear them out while we realign
I think
the
it
dark
is,
magics
I
of
want to
this
say it's
place.
still a 3% increase or something like that. To go into Moonkin, but you lose all your haste and stuff like that for lose all your haste and whatnot for healing, so it's not really worthwhile. Refresh that life bloom. And we'll start soothing. Probably should have been soothing this whole time. Okay, we'll soothe again. I'm just going to target these and start soothing on cooldown. Refresh that life bloom. Cool.
Perfect. We are just about. Wait, Ichistras.
Easy peasy. If you separate that first pack of skitterflies and then you're
That is too much nature.
soothing to keep the stacks low,
What is that thing? This
that
is
is
your
not a
fault.
bad pull.
Absolutely.
Alright, we'll go ahead and get Heart of the Wild here.
Please, help us
Little tip with
understand
Heart of the Wild, you can, if you are higher on combo points, you can bite and it will not cancel your Feral Frenzy. So you can just spend your combo points as you max out. It's not like Convoke. Alright, and then here I'm just going to Wild Growth into a Convoke to manage all this damage. We still have Wild Growth from the Convoke, so I'm going to wait till that falls off, and now I'm going to Wild Growth. Make sure we're in this. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to defensive. Iron Bark the tank here. Stack back up. And we'll go ahead and Harnear Racial. I'm going to trank this. And Convoke. Stack back up. Just spinning plates here. I'm gonna bear form this. Nice. And we got some time to do some Starfires during while these ads are still up. And now we'll go ahead and Feral Frenzy. Get some rejuves up on everybody. Fresh that Swift Bloom. And we're spinning plates for the duration that this branch is alive. Okay, we're going to need to move soon, so I'm going to go ahead and Wild Growth. I have Convoke. I'm watching. Nice. Okay, let's refresh on the tank. Fresh hots. Gotta chill and stand at a range. Fresh that life bloom before it falls off. Res there. Mark of the Wild. He's probably got hit by winds there and got stunned. Okay, it should be a line of sight soon, I think. Oh yeah, I can just line of sight that, but I even said it like the second before that. Fresh that life balloon. Oh!
Look at this Lishrath arena. Oh, wait, what are these birds doing here?
Fresh hots. Select the high health target here. Alright, and we'll just put some more hots into the tank to deal with those bleeds. We'll go ahead and send a Soul of the Forest as well, just for that blooming frenzy.
Clear them out. They have ruined the place.
Make sure we don't miss refreshing that life bloom. You know what? We'll go ahead and send a Heart of the Wild here. I'm going to sit on Soul of the Forest, though. Invoke that to recover. Although I might have needed to save that for the next pull that has 2 eagles to be able to recuperate the group between the screeches. So here I'm going to do some DPS right now. And now I'm going to stop. I'm going to start ramping and getting everybody with rejuves. We'll rank in between those to try to recover the group. And we should be good now for the rest of the pull. I was preparing in advance and I was still a little late. I missed that first screech. I should have been doing my wild growth and stuff right the second that hit. So right now, wild growth. I'm gonna health pop myself. He should be popping something. There we go. Yeah, I'm still late on that. Even with knowing I was late, I need the wild growth a little earlier, and then the global it hits, I need to probably be consuming my Soul of the Forest for a Blooming Frenzy. So I'll keep that in mind for hierarchies. Okay, we're going to open this up with a pot and Heart of the Wild and all that. So let's go ahead and start stealth. We'll get a big shred. Oh, I don't have Heart of the Wild. I'm going to Iron Bark this. Okay, here's the interrupting screech, the deafening screech. I'm going to Bark Skin that. Make sure that everybody's good. We're going to pot and Heart of the Wild. I should have saved that for the damage amp. Actually, I don't know if there's just a damage component to it. The fire one just... I don't remember how that works. I'm not a DPS player. The fire effect, well, first of all, that's a long time from now, but so I shouldn't have held. But the fire effect, I'm pretty sure, just puts a damaging effect on the boss. I'm cat weaving. What am I doing? I'll bark skin this. And we're just spinning plates, making sure everybody has rejuves and stuff. I'm gonna iron bark the tank here. Overlapped with her Ardent Defender. I'm gonna Convoke. Was gonna wild charge to the boss there, but I wanted to make sure there wasn't a tornado, so I second guessed myself and did not do that. Okay, let's look. Let's learn. Blistering Fire. So yeah, it's not a damage amp. It's just now he's taking more damage. Okay, before this next screech, I'm gonna Wild Growth here. We'll Bark Skin, consuming our Soul of the Forest. More Wild Growth. Making sure that we do not get hit by these tornadoes. Just sending Soul of the Forest on cooldown. And Iron Bark, I'm going to go ahead and Bear Form this. We'll Convoke now. Alright, for the next few, I'm going to use a cooldown for everyone. So first is Convoke, Trank will be next. And then I don't think Convoke will be back up, so hopefully the boss is dead by then. Okay, we're going to ramp the group here. Just make sure everybody's good. I don't have Bark Skin, so I'm going to... Oh, he used the B-Res, didn't he? Hopefully he didn't. Oh, he did. So Evoker's squishy, he's not pushing his buttons. Let's refresh that life bloom. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send a Feral Frenzy on this guy to try to get some prio damage. We'll Iron Bark this target. Refresh Life Bloom. Go ahead and throw up a Wild Growth. More prio healing on this guy. Keep going to cat form. Remark of the Wild. Oh. Okay, our life bloom dropped off, so I need to get that back up. Nature Swiftness into this guy. Make sure we don't fall behind. And butt pull. Alright, let's spend our Soul of the Forest, get our wild growth out, and we'll start doing some DPS. I'll use Harnir Racial because I always forget. Make sure we get that Life Bloom refresh. I'm going to sit on my... Oh, never mind. I'm going to send it now. I'm going to go ahead and convoke this as well. Alright, and things are pretty stable now. I got a lot of hots out, so we'll just start starfiring. What do you think of the Druid changes so far? Seems like it's pretty overtuned. I don't know. We were very low on our DPS output, and with much higher effort than everybody else, so I think it's fine. And then as far as raid goes, I think it's good. Maybe like a slight aura nerf would be good, but I think they should be leaving the Apex talent the way it is. It's kind of a core feature of Midnight anyways, right? So it's good that it's strong. So I think we were strong in Mythic Plus, and we're even stronger now. And then in Raid, I think it's a good change, and I think that maybe, if anything, a slight aura nerf or buffing the other healers up to where they need to be. I think it just feels overtuned because we were really undertuned in Raid. So it's such a positive jump that it just feels like it's super overpowered. I don't know, that's my sandbagging. Okay, let's get our Interrupting Roar there. And I've got my knockback for the next one. With Ursul's. I'm not going to have my Endcap Roar up for the next cast, so I'm just going to start pre-hotting everybody, and then if I get put to sleep, hopefully they're going to be okay. Oh! Alright, and then I do have Endcap Roar now. Use it now. Ironbark the tank. And enough stuff is dead now that I think we can just finish off with some Starfires. And plus it's so much more smooth and less stressful as Resto than Disc. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Disc is going through it right now in Mythic Plus. I haven't tried it, but based on any groups where I've tanked and had a Disc healer, and based on any Disc that I've seen and stuff like that, it's just a lot of effort, and I don't know, they just don't have the healing recovery tools of a lot of other healers right now. Let's take this as quickly as possible. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to spinning plates this. We'll drop this bomb. Gonna convoke, make sure my stack dropped off here. And we can go ahead and pop our damage pot, Feral Frenzy. Refresh that Life Bloom. There's the mana bombs again. Ooh, this guy. Yeah, I just need to make sure the group is very healthy leading into all of these mechanics, because we're dropping them in Narnia. Actually, I'm going to adjust because they've been dropping them very far away. I'm going to stay in range here of everybody. Again, that Evoker keeps going into Narnia. Make sure our debuff drops off. Get our mana bomb. I'm going to trank this.
That is not what it says in the book.
Watching the debuff, and there we go. Oh, what am I doing? I shouldn't keep Life Bloom on the tank here. I should be putting it on myself. We'll lose Efflo value, but we're going to do more of a raid cleave healing style.
That is not
Invoke
what it
here.
says in the
Yep, he's dead again.
It was ultimately destroyed. Well done.
Guess I'm too small and getting stuck on that lip. Okay, we'll focus on healing here for a bit. Watching this evoker who's having a hard time staying alive. He's Aug too. Don't they have like extra defensive stuff? Like a cheat death and whatnot? I think we should be good as long as we don't wipe, right? Use our Apex proc here. Watch that circle. Cheat around it here. Let's get this Life Bloom refresh. We did not get it. And I'm just going to get a round of rejuves up on everybody for that smash. Here's another smash. I'm just going to bark the evoker there. Get one more Starfire before I have to refresh Life Bloom. We'll just get one hard cast of rejuve up on everybody. I'm going to use Harnier Racial for this next one. Here's the smash. Oh! Refresh that Life Bloom before it falls off. Watch these circles. Go ahead and Harnier. Here's the smash. We're going to convoke this. Don't have line of sight on this guy.
These are sacred halls of learning. Only those registered may access them. Think about what you have done.
I think that's the key, right? I have a battle res for 5 minutes.
Think about what you have done. Go to the corner.
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
Think about what you have done. You have been educated.
have many lucky doos you like. I have many wares.
Wealthless group. Okay, running this plus 15 Algeth'ar Pug, except for the tank, who's a friend. Running as Resto Druid with the talent setup. It's
5,
pretty much the. I
4,
think it's exactly
3,
the Wowhead build.
2, 1.
And gear. Gonna be doing commentary for this key. Not doing a pub group
5,
playstyle because I want to
4,
focus a little bit
3,
on the
2,
new caster style
1.
stuff after the changes. So not cat weaving.
Welcome
But
to
in a nutshell,
Algeth'ar
before I get a bunch of
Academy.
comments asking about how it works, you're essentially starfiring in 2 or more targets. The only time you're casting Sunfire is when you have to move. Otherwise, Starfire is always a better global. And the only time you're casting Moonfire is in single target. Heart of the Wild is still best used in cat form, always, and it's DPS increase up to 5 targets, I think. You don't go into Moonkin form. Moonkin form is like a 3-ish% DPS increase, I think, but you lose out on the haste benefit that you get from Lycara's teachings, so it is not worth it. So you just stay in human form. Just gonna focus on starfiring for a little bit. I'll do some catch-up soothing afterwards. Okay, we'll start soothing now. Ironbark the tank here. Just gonna be soothing on cooldown. Let's refresh this life bloom. Alright, I didn't need to soothe anymore, so I'm just going to focus on DPSing until this guy's dead.
Perfect. We are just about...
Cool.
Wait, Ichistras. There is too much life magic. What are you doing?
Me? There is too much nature. What are you doing?
Start stealth
What
just
is
for
that
fun.
thing? This is your fault.
You don't have cat talent, so starting off with a shred, bite, Heart of the Wild,
Please,
bite,
help us, new students.
and we're good for now, so. Got hots on the tank. Can't really cast when we're moving here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do cat, even though it's suboptimal. It's better than nothing when there's nothing to do. Okay, now we're going to start really cleaving with some Starfires. Okay, Heart of the Wild. We'll go ahead and convoke this as well. And a little bit of spinning plates, just going to make sure everybody has 2 rejuves here. And we're restacking. Make sure we don't lose our life bloom stacks on the tank. Consume our Soul of the Forest there. And now that everybody's topped up from that initial hit, I only really need to watch the tank. I'm going to go ahead and Bark Skin. Get that Dispel. Alright, and then here we're moving. Fight. And again, before I get more questions, the only reason I'm cat form DPSing there is because I can't really cast on the move. Alright, I'm gonna convoke this. We're gonna have to dodge here. There we go. Got the hit. And I'm just gonna Typhoon and knock them all so they all get grouped up. Make sure we get the rejuves on the tank. I can go ahead and Heart of the Wild here. Little tip with Heart of the Wild is it's not like Convoke, where you have to wait until the channel is done or whatever before you can spend your combo points. You can spend your combo points as they pop up, so there's no need to like try to spend your combo points and get to 0 before you push it. You can just spend it as you go, which is really nice.
This all could have been avoided by someone not trying too hard.
Go get hots on the tank here. I'm gonna just play this one from ranged. Try to bait these tornadoes out here for the melee. Since there's no healing to be done, I'm going to go ahead and use a Moonkin form. Convoke. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention is Convoke is not a DPS increase over casting. So you really should save it for healing. So honestly, I didn't need to do that. I could have just kept casting. So yeah, Convoking in for DPS is not really worthwhile with casting.
Look at this Lishrath arena. Wait, what are these birds doing here?
I'm not entirely sure if it is a DPS increase to do it like a cat Convoke. Oh, it might be. I haven't tested that. I don't know if anybody's asked that I've seen. Okay, we're just gonna cleave here. Starfire, Starfire. I'm really just gonna watch Life Bloom on the tank. The other ones can fall off, it's fine. Not Ironbark. No, I don't need Ironbark. Oh my gosh. A lot of stacks. I need to heal till those drop off. Okay, and then here there's a big hit for the Screech, so I'm going to just start ramping on everybody right before the Screech. And here I'm going to Wild Growth and sit on my Soul of the Forest and consume Soul of the Forest for the Everbloom healing, the Cleave healing. And I should maybe have one more of those before the end of this pull. It's the next pull where I'm going to have to use cooldowns though, because it's back-to-back of those Screeches. And that can kill somebody if they're not paying attention. Ideally, they should be using like a defensive for that. Alright, I'm just going to start ramping the group here. We're going to get Rejuves up on everybody. Okay, here's the Screech. I'm going to Wild Growth, Consume. We're going to Convoke. So we're ready for the next hit. Got a lot of hots out, so I think we're good. The DPS here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Wild Growth. Sit on this Soul of the Forest, and when he screeches, if he screeches, I'll spend it.
All right.
He did not.
Now we need to clear out the big one. I will activate the goals for Lishrath. That is Talentos for you soft.
It's mine.
Use them to get her attention.
It's mine. I licked it.
Huh? At least we know that works. Watch yourselves.
Alright, well, we will start this one stealthed. Gonna start off with a big shred, potion, Heart of the Wild, big bite, and that's it. From now on, we'll do caster stuff. I'm gonna save my Convokes though. I'm gonna go ahead and Ironbark, so she can sit on her defensives here. And I'm consuming Soul of the Forest for the Everbloom healing. I would have cast Wild Growth before, but I was a little late, and I did not want to get interrupted. That would be fatal for everybody. Yeah, I'm not going to cat form. Let's refresh that Life Bloom. Okay, let's get out just a couple more Rejuves. And same thing happened again, but it's okay. By same thing, I mean that I was late on my Wild Growth and I didn't want to get interrupted, so I just opted to wait and then go for the whatever. The Wild Growth after. Everbloom healing and then Wild Growth after. Wind first. Yep, sorry. My Dragonflight instincts kicked in. Okay, now we can go ahead and do that. Was able to get a very, very quick Soul of Nature Swiftness regrowth into him, and that actually also had Soul of the Forest I was sitting on for that damage, so that was actually good timing on all that. Okay, everybody's got 2 stacks of stuff. I'm going to Wild Growth and then Swiftmend into Rejuve for the Everbloom healing. Let's refresh Life Bloom. Alright, let's get the orbs here. Okay, and I'm not going to send an offensive Convoke. I'm going to save it. Use it for healing. We have 2 melee in this group, so I'm just going to stay out of melee, focus on casting, also because I am running a ranged build, but also to bait the fire out. Actually, I don't know if it baits on players. Looks pretty evenly spread, so ignore all that I just said with that. Also, if you ever see me shifting into cat just randomly and I don't do anything with it, it's just habit. That's just muscle memory of, hey, there's time to go ahead and DPS. Oh! Okay, looking for a high health target so I can Starfire them and not cancel my cast. Let's refresh that Life Bloom before it falls off. I'm going to sit on the Soul of the Forest. Make sure I don't get knocked off here. We got a single target opportunity. We may as well go ahead and use Feral Frenzy. Okay, and then unfortunate pat timing here, but we're gonna probably do the same thing that we tried in that 16 just now. Just grab this pack and then pull it onto the bridge. Yep. Let's put hots up on everybody. I mean, on the tank. I don't think there's much follow-up damage to those dashes, so I'm not freaking out on topping them up. Refresh this Life Bloom. Fit in some Starfires while we can. We'll go ahead and Wild Growth, and then consume our Soul of the Forest after that. She's got Guardian of Ancient Kings, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and Ironbark. Okay, pulling up here. Let's go ahead and use pop our soul for Everbloom healing. After this Wild Growth, I'm going to fit in some damage. Feeling pretty good for now, so I'm just going to wait. Let's refresh Life Bloom. I'm going to Wild Growth, and then we're going to go ahead and send our Everbloom healing here by consuming Soul of the Forest. Alright, let's put some more hots into the tank, because I don't have Ironbark. She procced Guardian of Ancient Kings. Alright. For this, I'm going to go ahead and pre-ramp the group with some... Oh, let's get that life bloom. We got an iron bark. Alright, and I'm going to in-cap roar that. Nobody was getting that. Invoke this. Our stops are not good. I have in-cap roar for this one. Oh my gosh.
Only the strongest survive.
Hmm.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles.
Yeah, I don't know. She was getting one-shotted, and then our stops were quite bad. And kicks. We should have really good kicks. I'm just gonna watch her extra here. Yeah, it was weird.
Here we are. Long ago, members of the Blue Dragon Flight accidentally overloaded an arcane elemental and created a powerful construct named Veximus that quickly started to wreak havoc. The Blue Dragons battled Veximus fiercely.
Hey, here's orbs. Catch this one as quickly as possible. And then I'm going to ramp the group a little bit here for the drops. I'm going to go ahead and move Life Bloom to myself. For the cleave healing, I'm going to play it kind of like Raid. So I don't think I need to worry about the tank in this fight. Yeah, everybody's got 2 rejuves. I should be good. I'm going to bark skin this.
As the dragons neared victory, Veximus unleashed its full arcane power.
Can't really cast Wild Growth. Okay, there we go. Or Wild Growth was on cooldown. Alright, here's Mana Bomb, so I'm going to go ahead and send Wild Growth now while everybody's in range. Just bear form this hit. And we'll get these orbs, and then I'm going to quickly just get a quick Heart of the Wild here. I'm going to Iron Bark the Hunter, because here's the... I'm just calling things wrong. Never mind. I'm just going to shut up. I thought that was the overlap. Never mind. Here's the overlap. Refresh life bloom on myself. Let's get some rejuves up on him because he doesn't have any. Go ahead and wild growth. Watch his health. And not gonna worry about this orb because we're done.
It was ultimately destroyed.
Might be a little tight. Stacking hots up on her. And we're gonna go ahead and ironbark. Fresh life bloom. And I'm going to watch her extra because I'm not sure what's going on with these.
Only the strongest survive.
We have a battle res. I'm just going to release. Oh yeah, it's right here. Why did that one-shot me? Was I low? And I just didn't notice? I'm gonna have to watch that back. I have no clue why I died there. I'm gonna life bloom and then quickly convoke to recover here because I'm joining late. Make sure she has 2 rejuves. I'm gonna sit on my Soul of the Forest so I can use it right there for planned out Everbloom healing. Let's refresh our life bloom, get out of this circle. Go away. Watching for the next smash. For the smash, I'm going to wild growth. Okay, here it is. Wild growth. And we'll do our Everbloom healing by consuming soul. Okay, let's refresh hots on the tank. I'm going to go ahead and ironbark. Okay, we have 2 knights here. That might be a bit of... If they both smash... Okay, no, we're good. The other one died. Let's refresh life bloom. Here's the smash, so we're going to wild growth and then consume soul of the forest. For the Everbloom healing. Mark of the Wild. I think everybody has it. Oh, for me. Thank you. Thank you. I habitually press it except for when I need it, apparently. Okay, oh gosh, 3 Echo Knights here. I'm going to convoke this. So I don't know when the next ones are going to cast theirs. I think there's plenty of time, but I did not want to risk it. Okay, here's the smash. We're going to wild growth, and I'm going to go ahead and trank this. Oh, they line up sided it. That's nice.
This room is only for students. Head to the registrar at once.
It's good tech. Good tech to know. Probably should have saved that for the boss, but I want to get these dead.
Sacred halls of learning. Only those registered may access them.
All right, and I'm gonna spinning plates this until they're all dead, because here it's a little sketchy. I gotta watch my feet at all costs.
You will not pass the semester. Think
about what you have done.
We'll convoke that. I'm gonna sit on my wild growth and my wild growth and my soul there. Sent it into the DK. Let's top this guy up. Just make sure everybody has a healthy amount of hots. So I want to be able to quickly recuperate them. And really this just comes down to following healing priority of spinning plates, topping as needed, and then trying to make sure that we do not ever get hit. I'm gonna Ironbark him because I'm a little nervous. Let's refresh that Life Bloom. I'm keeping Life Bloom on the tank here because of we have 3 melee. So the F-low healing. We're a little less spread out on this fight. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and Heart of the Wild Bite. Move out of this first, and then we'll go ahead and Heart of the Wild. I got 2 stacks here. So my next mechanic, I will be dropping a puddle. So I'm going to try to bait by old puddles here, so that when I get a circle... Is this going to be a circle on me? No, it's not. But if it was, I would be baiting... I'd be putting it in a good spot. We'll roar us out of here. Wild growth. Oh, 14 seconds. We gotta do or die here. Oh, that's so frustrating.
Oh dear. It seems the parameters I wove into my
So close.
spell were a bit extreme. Thank you for all your help in getting the school ready.
We do it again. It's my last one I need for 15 Resil, so if she's down, I'm down to keep trying. What trinkets to use for Mythic Plus? Whatever Sim's highest that I've got, unquestionably Epic, which in this case is currently Gaze and Volatile Voids Suffuser, probably because it has Leech.
I have many, many wares.
Is there no sound, or is your computer weirding? There should be sound. My game sound is pretty low because I was getting some... there were some nights where my game sound was too loud and people couldn't hear commentary. You could just weren't hearing game? Gotcha. Yeah, I have it pretty low. Probably a bit too low. Let's bump this up. Okay, we're doing Spire. Probably time for like 2 more keys. So we're just gonna take a break and do a Spire real quick, and then we'll. I think we're doing another Algeth'ar ideally after that. I don't know why I'm flying, or could have ordered.
Lightbloom Athran is overgrown. Help my Farstriders tame the area.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles, like you.
Rebuff Mark of the Wild.
Alright, running this plus 16 Windrunner Spire. Is Resto Druid. This is my talent setup. It's just the Wowhead build, pretty sure. And gear.
5, 4.
I'm going to be
3,
doing commentary for
2,
this.
1.
Going to be focusing a little bit more on commentating about the new DPS stuff. So not doing pug proof, because that would entail not really DPSing at all.
2.
I'm going to talk a little about the caster stuff. So
my sisters were the last to visit these halls,
it boils down to starfiring and anything above 2 targets. Only sunfiring if you need to move. Stay in human form instead of moonkin form, because otherwise you lose the haste. I'm going to bark skin here, dispel the other guy. And then in single target, Heart of the Wild is actually still best cast in cat form. Up to 5 targets. And then only moonfiring in single target. So, in a sentence, lots of Starfire. And dots are to that great. I did not do like hardly any there because I wanted to be safe. That pull can have a lot of random damage, especially right at the beginning. It's a little spicy. But here we can do some more. So I'm going to go ahead and Heart of the Wild, Bite. Let's refresh that Life Bloom. I'm going to sit on my Wild Growth and Soul of the Forest. Oh, the other thing is Convoking is not a DPS increase with caster stuff. So you should just save that for healing. I don't have a Dispel, so I'm just going to keep healing into that Warlock.
Barisa was the peacekeeper of our family. She spent many days tending to the gardens here, but the wilderness has overtaken it now.
Okay, going to sit on this Soul of the Forest. Sending it now. Let's go ahead and Convoke. I have Barkskin for myself, so I'm going to Dispel the other target. And let's just do some spinning plates here. And we got a lot of hots out, so we're good to just Starfire a bit. Swiftman the tank, Dispel myself. I'm going to go ahead and put Wild Growth out for another... for another hot on the tank. Looks like Rogue cloaked his off. I had to health pot because I did not have Dispel there. Let's stack hots on the tank. I do have Dispel again for the Rogue. Let's go ahead and Wild Growth, and I'm going to Iron Bark that target until my Dispel comes back up. Looks like Slat got it. Sitting on my Soul of the Forest, I'm going to Dispel. I'm going to go ahead and send it. Let's refresh our Life Bloom. Going to Cryo Heal until I can Dispel this poison. I'm going to Barkskin myself. Go ahead and send a Soul of the Forest regrowth into the Warlock. Just for a little bit of spot healing. Certain haste point. Or focusing on mastery. Not really. Oh no, I'm stunned. I would just say go for as much haste and mastery as you can. With whatever gear you get.
The soothing sounds
so as much haste as you can get. To quote Vic, he was saying that anything less than about 40% mastery doesn't feel great, so just keep going up to 40% mastery, and then beyond that, you can throw in oh my gosh. Anything else you can throw into Verse for survivability. Oh, that hurt. I don't have Frenzied Regen in this build, so I gotta remember that. Oh, I keep standing in that. That's what it was. I'm not watching my feet. That's just a skill issue. You know, simming is always the answer, just in general. Yeah, just in general, just even before simming, just go for haste and mastery as much as you possibly can. And until you get to a point where you notice the survivability becoming an issue, then at that point you can start to really prioritize Verse a little more. Getting Verse over haste or over mastery is never an HPS increase. It's purely a survivability and damage decision. So there's no breakpoint at which you wouldn't take mastery and you would start taking Verse. It's just purely for the other effects beyond healing, DPS, and survivability. Knock that. I don't have time to cast Ursals. They're not getting a knock there. A stop, I mean, for the Dragonhawk. Okay, this is dangerous right here. The Spore Dispersal and then the Fire Spit. Somebody else needs to interrupt that. Okay, they got the stun right as soon as I sent my in-cap roar. Yeah, this Fire Spit isn't too bad. The Spore Dispersal is a lot, but it's not too bad. It's when they line up together and you're needing to focus all your GCDs on healing and nobody's stopping the Fire Spit. That's where it gets a little sketchy. Okay, here I'm going to go ahead and just start off with a bite. We put a damage pot. Another bite. Oh, we got all that. Is that intentional? I convoke this. Do a little bit of spinning plates here, just putting rejuves up on everybody. Send our wild growth. Move out of this. And we'll just send our Soul of the Forest now for the Everbloom healing. And until those groundskeepers are dead, I'm going to go ahead and spinning plates. It's not on me here. I'm going to Ironbark the Rogue. And we'll put Life Bloom into the Warlock.
You come to make a deal.
Dizimo. Thank you for the follow. It will move Life Bloom back to the tank for that Searing Beak damage. I'm going to Bark Skin myself. I'm going to put a... Oh, he's out of range. Oh, no. Okay, he healed himself up with something. That was a little scary. It's tough when we go to opposite sides. I'm going to convoke this. Send our Soul of the Forest, or Nature Swiftness, excuse me, into that guy to top him up. And Trank to fully recover. Alright, we're going to start ramping the group. I'm going to put rejuves up on everybody. And it's on me. Oh! He's got sack, that's good. We keep going to opposite sides. I need to just watch them and go to the same side with them, I think. So he's going to go over here. Ironbark him. Get that Life Bloom before it falls off. Let's make sure everybody has 2 stacks of rejuve, making sure we don't hit a tornado here. And I'm going to go ahead and convoke this as well. We'll go ahead and send our Heart of the Wild. And again, it's a DPS increase in cat. For a single target, actually up to 5 targets. He's going to go over there, so I'm going to go with him over here. My Nature Swiftness into him. Move Life Bloom into myself. Okay, let's move it back to the tank. Make sure we've got rejuves going. And I'm going to go ahead and roar. I'm following the DPS here. I'm going to put heals in myself because I'm not worried about the DK at all. Let's refresh that Life Bloom. Let's Wild Growth while we can. I'm waiting for my Swiftmen. Let's go ahead and send it on a Soul of the Forest. Wild Growth.
She reminds me of Arisa. My sister was also ferocity itself if her family was...
Hierarchy is healer damage a deciding factor in actually timing, or is trying to maximize damage just an optimization thing? It's there's only so much healing to do, right? Healing is a zero-sum game. Healing beyond 100% health is not really worthwhile. And so, if there's time beyond healing that needs to be done, your best way to spend that time is to DPS. So it's not a, let's try to get as much DPS as we can. It's right now there's no healing to be done. So I could waste mana and just send heals on full health targets, or I could spend that time DPSing.
She trained with a bow gifted by our mother.
Now, there is something to be said with Druid specifically of pre-hotting everybody for extra safety. That way, when damage comes in, you don't have to try to start from 0 to recover everybody. So like right here, for this Woebringer, I know that he does a lot of damage with that Shriek, so I started pre-hotting everybody beforehand with rejuves. So there wasn't any healing to be done at that moment, but that's where dungeon knowledge comes into play. And you can know where it's safe to cut corners into DPS, like that previous pack, and when it is not okay, and when you need to start pre-ramping the group. So here I'm still ramping the group. I'm still going to get some more rejuves out. I'm going to make sure everybody has 2 here for this next Shriek. Let's refresh Life Bloom. I'm going to go ahead and... there we go. Wild Growth into Consuming Everbloom, and everybody has hots, and so we're ready to go. If I had not been pre-hotting, that would be much more scary. So that's why in my guide I'm recommending a pug-proof playstyle of over-hotting and stuff. And then once you learn the dungeon pool and you know when the...
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
What's that? When you know when the damage is coming in, you can cut some corners a little bit more. I'm mad. What was that? I don't think I stood in a puddle or anything. Is my Life Bloom CD the Blizzard one? Yeah, it is. For any UI questions, I have all my UI and profiles and setup guide and everything on my community Discord. That should be linked in either the description or somewhere on my Twitch or on any of my videos. Yeah, it's just Blizzard. Let's send that Heart of the Wild, make sure we're not standing in the goo. I'm gonna have to look back and see what killed me. Kuldo, thank you. I've learned so much from your videos. This season's the first time you actually got all 10s. Nice. That's not a lot. Hey, you know what? It's it's comparison is the thief of joy. There's always somebody else who's doing more, and so it's not about comparing to, any certain benchmark or anything like that. I think it's important to think of yourself as a diamond in the rough, like just because you're not doing the highest level content doesn't mean that you couldn't be doing it with more practice and the right team and stuff like that. And so sometimes it's a longer journey to get there, but it doesn't mean that you're not capable of it at all. Oh. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're having a good season.
Our mother's bow.
Okay, so here there's a lot of damage with the Woolbringer. I'm going to go ahead and start ramping the group. Opting to send my Soul of the Forest early because I wanted to get some more rejuves out. I did not want to sit on that. Okay, and now I know I have some more time for the next Shriek, so we have some time to do some DPS. Let's refresh this Life Bloom. Okay, and we're probably getting pretty close now to the next Shriek, unless the target just dies like that. That's great. He died to unavoidable damage. Okay.
You desecrate her sanctum.
Well, even unavoidable, like, I had defensives and stuff, I'm pretty sure, so I just need to look at what that was and figure out how to not do that next time. So this one, a big mistake that I have made in the past is trying to finish a cast when that green pops. You cannot do that. You have to immediately move out of the gunk. He's not going to move out of it, is he? There we go. Okay, I'm going to dispel the DPS first. The So move out. Let's refresh that life bloom. Yeah, I'm gonna curse dispel the DPS first because I was worried that he was just gonna let that thing beat on him.
What have you done?
Okay. And you know what? We've got. We're gonna drop over here. I'm gonna pre-ramp everybody. And Soul of the Forest. Consume Soul of the Forest, I should say, for the Everbloom healing. Okay, what's the health difference? Oh my gosh, Callus is just... I'm going to dispel the Warlock. And then hopefully... I was going to see if the DK would AMS it or something. So there, I wasn't prepared in advance. I optimally would be casting Wild Growth beforehand. And then... do the Everbloom healing afterwards, but unless I'm doing right off the bat, I don't want to be tempted to try to finish a Wild Growth cast and be standing in the puddle. Alice is still significantly behind. Oh gosh. That one's dispel there. I'm going to go ahead and just use an Ursul's and dispel myself. We were able to get it off beforehand, so that's good. Ironbark the Warlock because he was still taking damage. Alright, let's go ahead and send Wild Growth. Let's make sure we're not in the way of this hook. I feel like our damage is not good. Okay, they're about even, so we're good now. Here we're gonna Wild Growth, sit on the Swiftmend, and consume. To add Shadow Step to you at once.
Sylvanas was sometimes vain and loved to be admired.
That is just very unfortunate. Yeah, so there's no real way to predict that. Then that's just a feels bad moment, I think. Unless there's something on my UI that shows who they're gonna step to. I have Ironbark in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and Ironbark with the tank. Fresh that life bloom. Go ahead and send our Soul of the Forest so we get some big Blooming Frenzy healing on.
Your survival wasn't necessary.
Yeah, that was a defensive moment. I needed to defensive. That's tough though because like I have to recuperate the group before the next interrupting screech. But it interrupts, so I'm just gonna ramp everybody and just get a lot of hots out. Let's watch our feet here. Invoke. Let's refresh that life bloom. We missed it. Here's the screech. I'm going to go ahead and bark scan. We'll bear this. Okay, that was a lot less. So did they overlap before? I think he just got his. Oh, maybe an arrow hit at the same time or something. That might have been what it was. I'll have to look. You can't trust the death breakdown because it's all bugged and weird and inaccurate. It'll show death details for other people a lot of times.
They took my life.
So there's no quick way to diagnose in-game like I used to with details, which is very annoying.
One of Valeria's scouting maps is within.
Alright, and we're going to Ironbark the tank here, make sure we refresh.
We'll need that map from them.
Life Bloom, I'm just going to go ahead and trank this because I don't have any hots out. I do have
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
I'm just squishy. This is where I'm starting to notice I need some more verse. Moments like that. Barkskin wasn't even up there. I'm gonna go ahead and soothe. Oh my gosh, man. We have a B-res, but I don't think we send it. I think we just go. Oh crap, that's quite a run. Yeah, so I'm starting to notice that some more verse would make a big difference here. I'm going to convoke this. Also, I'm pretty sure there was an enrage that I did not soothe. That was the big reason for that. So I'm going to Arcskin myself. Okay, let's soothe the Mystic there so we don't die to the party-wide hit. The Flame Nova. Make sure that he's topped up. Let's go bear form. Okay, 2 bosses, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. I think we're alright. Should be good.
Windrunner, you'll pay.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and int pot and get in some damage there. We're gonna bait this. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Wild Growth while I can. Make sure everybody's topped up for this hit. Just going to spinning plates a little bit. Just going to bait him. We'll do him over here. Swiftman in the tank to make sure that that life bloom didn't fall off. Okay. And I'm just gonna bear bark that Flame Nova. I think I stood on Cyclone. Yeah, but there was the hit before that. I think that's what finished me off. But I got low before that. Okay. And I'm just going to send a couple regrowths into myself. Let's move in here. Let's stay out. I'm going to convoke this for the hit. Okay, and we're going to start ramping everybody. Wild growth. He's phasing in a second here. Let's make sure that everybody's got hots. Go ahead and wild grow. Sit on this soul forest and consume. Try to drag him out over here. Just gonna make sure everybody has 2 stacks of rejuve. Let's refresh life bloom on the tank. Swiftman in the tank to extend all those hots. I'm gonna wild growth going into this Flame Nova. There's Blade Storm. Let's bait it over here. No Flame Nova. Okay, we're good. We do have Heart of the Wild, so we'll go ahead and send that real quick. Alright, let's start ramping the group a little bit. I'm gonna bark skin this. Wild growth, and then consume. We'll just stay here. So fresh hots on the tank. Alright, and I'm gonna wild growth here, refresh life bloom. And we're going to use Soul of the Forest, get into melee range here. Go out and rescue. Alright, no mistakes.
One last task
We only have one res. 5.5 minutes left.
I'll use these relics to return peace to the Spire. Perhaps then, my sisters will return to me. There! The restless heart that haunts us. Please!
And I'll go ahead and start stealth because I just may as well. Get a nice little single shred out. Fresh life bloom. Alright, I'm gonna start ramping the group here. Make sure we don't get hit by any of these. We'll go ahead and wild growth. Let's refresh life bloom. And let's check our rejuves on everybody. I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wild growth. And let's consume our Soul of the Forest. Go ahead and take this. Okay, and then I have damage pots, so we'll go ahead and send all that with Heart of the Wild. And here we need to clear the debuff. And we will trank this. That guy's going to take a lot of damage. Cool. Let's bait with everybody else here. Who's that on? Rogue. I'll move Life Bloom to him. I'm going to go ahead and go move Ironbark to him too, because he's taking a beating. He's probably using his defenses from some other kind of tech. With the fight. Alright, let's ramp with everybody. I'm going to use Wild Growth. We will go ahead and take this, and then I'm going to Convoke. Let's refresh our Life Bloom. Sitting on Wild Growth because I already have one out from Convoke. And we can use it now. Let's spend our Soul of the Force. I'm going to look for an arrow that's already by another arrow. Uh-oh, I think I just took his. Okay, let's position to pop these. Fresh Life Bloom. Alright, well, we missed 2 there, but... Oh no! On the rogue again. Alright, let's start ramping the group. Make sure we got rejuves on everybody. Okay, and here I'm just gonna shoot. Let's refresh Life Bloom. I have Heart of the Wild, so I'm going to send it. Heart of the Wild into a bite. Let's clear this debuff. Pick one next to an existing puddle. I'm going to pre-position. I'm going to pick this middle section here. Alright, let's start ramping the group. I'm going to bark skin, and we're going to just pump. Refresh Life Bloom. And we're almost done.
At last, the spirits that linger within these halls have found peace. I hope that one day, my sisters will be able to do the same. As for myself, I shall fill these halls with music until
Okay,
they
let's look at the
return
breakdown here.
Thank you, champions.
Oh, I think the breakdown on my previous key, I didn't show the overall. I just showed the last fight. Starfire, hardly any DPS there. That was not good at all. Pendant. Let's see here. It's the haste verse neck. I have it. All right, let's see if I can re-roll. What did she get? Magister's Terrace 17. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll mine and see if I can.
Your adventures.
What? Highlight enemy forces when I perform the tank roll for my party if Lindormi's guidance is inactive. I don't know what that is. That must be some kind of tank rails thing that they added. Oh, we got an Algeth'ar 16. Sweet. That wasn't good DPS, but that's okay. I just want a cat, man. I just want a cat weave. Alright, I'm gonna go bathroom and then it's Algeth'ar time. Okay, I'm back. Ben Friedberg, is cat weaving inefficient now? It's not that it's inefficient, it's just that casting got buffed so much that it does less. And for most people, they find casting easier than cat weaving. I don't, though. Just the long cast times of Starfire, I don't know, it just feels bad. So I could go cat weaving, but I already know that I would be getting a ton of comments on my videos and stuff. Why are you still cat weaving? But I mean, I'm gonna get comments regardless of people asking about casting and stuff, so it's just kind of a lose-lose. But I don't like it. Maybe I'm just bad. I'll get used to it. You love cat weaving? Yeah, man, me too. Cat weaving's my jam. I like the multitasking element to it. And you just feel fast and fluid switching between the two and stuff once you're used to it. Casting is just standing there and 2-second Starfire casts over and over and over and over. Feels natural. Casting feels awkward. Just hate casting spells that you can't move for. Yeah. You get it.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
Oh well. At least healing didn't change much. Healing still feels great.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles. Like you. Farewell, friend of the Grummles.
Also, call me a hater, but I'm glad that it didn't fully move the meta towards like Call of the Elder Druid and Dream of Cenarius. I know a lot of people want that. I don't like it. And I think it's bad for people to get used to it because yeah, on big AoE pulls and stuff you can fully heal with that. But the problem is as soon as that effect ends, as soon as Call of the Elder Druid ends, you have no hots out. All the other playstyles you can weave back and forth, you can put out your hots and stuff like that, you can make sure that the group has some level of preparation. But with Dream of Cenarius, as soon as that's done, you have nothing. No preparation at all. And if you did all that and you don't have a cooldown, then you're out of luck. And if you used Convoke for offensively or something like that while you're doing that, then you really have nothing. You only have Trank as a recovery device, and that really isn't super powerful if you haven't put out hots in advance. And the cat weaving fits the CD timer for wild growth perfect. Yeah, you use wild growth to come out of cat form. That's a good trigger for it. All right, third Algeth'ar tonight. This is it. Ooh, Hardy Harondar. Very nice. All right, running this plus 16 Algeth'ar as Restoration Druid. Running with the Wowhead talent build. I don't remember if I made small modifications or not, but it's mostly the same. And my gear setup. I'm going to be doing a commentary key for this one, talking through things as we go. Not doing a pug-proof playstyle. I might be kind of done with pug-proof playstyles unless I get more requests for it, because Now I've got plenty of examples of that, and now I'm getting more questions about how to fit in
5,
DPS and
4,
stuff, especially
3,
with all the
2,
caster changes.
1.
So this one, I'm going to be focusing my commentary a little bit more on that as I do it.
5, 4,
So
3, 2.
And since this is
1.
one of my first videos that I've posted since the casting changes, I'll just talk through a little bit of
Welcome to Algeth'ar Academy.
the changes. So big difference is casting got buffed so much that it overtakes Cat now. You want to be starfiring on 2 targets or more. Sunfire is only worth pressing if you have to move, but any other global is better pressed on Starfire. Moonfire is only good for single targets, so don't worry about it otherwise. Heart of the Wild should be cast in cat form, which I know is weird. That's just how it is. Alright, I'm going to sit on this Soul of the Forest. We're sending our Ant Pot. See, this is why I hate casting. I just have to cancel it. And I'm going to target the Skitterflies here so that I can soothe on cooldown now. I'm going to sit on the Soul of the Forest. Soothe this one if I can target it. That one needs to be soothed. Let's soothe that one. Refresh Life Bloom. Soothe the 4 stacks off that guy. This guy has 6 stacks. Holy moly, I'm going to root him. And soothe that. Alright. And we should be good to just finish this off. So now I'm going to just Starfire until we're done. Let's refresh Life Bloom. Switch into Wrath since we're single target now. We'll go ahead and send our Soul of the Forest.
Perfect. We are just about... Wait! Ichistraz, there is too much life magic. What are you doing?
Yeah, let's mark the tank, stack up.
That is too much nature. What are you doing?
What is that thing? This is your fault.
Stealth up.
Absolutely not.
I should have started off with a shred there, but
help us,
I did not.
Students.
Alright, here I'm going to go ahead and Wild Growth. And then I'm going to send our Soul of the Forest. Here I am going to Cat Weave while we're moving, just because I can't cast on the move. So just getting 5 combo points. And I'll just go ahead and send it. Alright, let's use our Soul of the Forest here, Wild Growth. Just spot healing a little bit, especially on this mage. Could send Convoke, but there we go. Again, same deal. Here, Bark Skin for this big hit. I'm gonna Iron Bark the tank. We're gonna Convoke here. They're taking some damage. And Dispelling the tank. And I think we're good, so I'm going to sit on this Soul of the Forest. Fresh Life Bloom, just making sure we don't get hit by these circles. And with everything stacked up, I should be casting Starfire. Alright, let's heal now that the Ancient Branch is out. Just going to do Spinning Plates until this branch is dead. Ooh, and we got a We got a kite inside this. Alright, nice. We did it. Let's res. Use Nature's Swiftness there for the insta-res. Nice little tech. Okay, let's go ahead and use Heart of the Forest on the boss. And right before this, I'm gonna Wild Growth. Swiftmend into Nature's Swiftness. Or Swiftmend into Rejuve for the Everbloom healing. Yeah, you're not using Moonfire, Sunfire. Yeah, no dots. Only dots should be if you have to move, you can push a Sunfire, and then you can Moonfire in single target. And then you do not go into Moonkin form because it is you lose your haste from Lycara's teaching. So I think it is like a 3% damage buff to go into Moonkin, but it costs a GCD if you're not using Fluid form. So you could use that talent elsewhere, and then also the haste benefits your healing as well. So yeah, no problem. It is weird. But yeah, you only are really speccing Moonkin for the pathing. I'm gonna have Heart of the Wild, but let's save it. Put an Iron Bark here.
Look at this Lishrath arena. Wait, what are these birds doing here?
Okay, and then here I only really need to worry about the tanks, so we're gonna go ahead and just DPS. Starfire, 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 and I'm just going to refresh the Life Bloom. We'll do one more cast and then I'll refresh. Target died. Okay, and then let's stack Hots for this bleed. Just gonna be pumping heals until that falls off. Yowza. Okay, and we'll just do a quick Heart of the Wild for some single target into the Alpha Eagle. Okay, here I'm going to prep the Shriek, Raging Screech. So I put a Rejuve on everybody, and then Wild Growth into consuming... going into cat form. Into consuming Soul of the Forest for the Everbloom healing. Okay, just pumping more heals into the tank until that bleed falls off. Okay, and Wild Growth, consume Wild Growth, and Convoke leading into this next Screech. This pulls the challenging one because you got the double eagles, so you got to make sure you recoup the group in between the Screeches. Let's refresh Life Bloom. Wild Growth. So the DPS now, it's just Wrath and Star Surge on a single target, and Starfire on AoE. Yeah. That's it. And then when you have Heart of the Wild, do it in cat.
All right. Now
That's
we
it.
need to clear out the big one. I will activate the goals for Lishrath. That is talent toss for you soft skins. Use them to get her attention. Huh, at least we know
And then
that
there's,
works.
you know, some small details, like I said, about not being able to cast while moving and stuff, so I did cat form and whatnot. But yeah. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use damage pot. I'm going to send an offensive cat form convoke. I can't guarantee this. I don't know if it's entirely true, but I think convoke is still best. If you're going to use it offensively, it's best using cat. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. Convoking for caster spells is not actually a DPS increase, so it's just the best save it for healing. Even if you do it in Moonkin, it's the single target's just so bad on it that you're best off just not convoking for damage and instead only using it for healing. But I'm field crafting that invoking in cat is better. That might not be true at all. Okay. Oh, I almost just ran right into that. Oh, I didn't get my haste buff. Keep going into cat. Out of habit. Let's refresh Life Bloom on the tank. Let's get up a round of hots on everybody. I'm going to go ahead and bark skin this one. She doesn't have to use a defensive. Okay, Wild Growth, Swiftmend into consuming it for the Everbloom healing. And we're just spot healing with regrowth beyond our hots. Beyond our rejuves, I mean. Let's refresh Life Bloom. Make sure we got 2 rejuves on the tank. Here's the peck. I need to save Wild Growth. I'm going to use it now. We have Soul of the Forest. We're using it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and convoke while we're doing this. Refresh that Life Bloom. Okay, and we'll Heart of the Wild. Okay, here's the peck. Let's put a round of rejuves on everybody. Iron Bark the tank. And Wild Growth into Swiftland. Or, Soul of the Forest. For the Everbloom healing. I gotta find a consistent way of phrasing all that. Just saying, sitting on my Swiftmend in order to consume Soul of the Forest with a rejuve to proc Everbloom Blooming Frenzy to cleave heal is too long. Let's health pop that. We can convoke because we're taking a lot of damage here. I might just say proc Apex or something. I'm sure I'll find a good, consistent way of phrasing it by the end of the season. Super behind? Okay. Oh. Alright, and I'm going to use a Heart of the Wild into this guy for a little bit of prio DPS. Cryo healing into the Warlock. They're saying our DPS is too low, we're super behind, mage is not doing enough damage. As soon as that Guardian of Ancient Kings runs out, we'll go ahead and Ironbark right now. Remark. Invoke for healing.
Please excuse the mess. It has been quite some time since students have been here. I'm just putting together my lesson plan.
It's gonna go off, yep.
I simply wish you had lasted a little longer.
Yeah, this is bricked. Alright, we'll just sit on it and try it tomorrow. Alright, I'm going to stop here. I have to get up early tomorrow and stuff, so I might circle back to this and try again tomorrow night. So, I think I got at least one key to post, so I will do that.